My first major public speaking failure was actually my first presentation. I went along to a meeting where people were practicing public speaking, and as a kind of icebreaker game, what they did was they would ask people a random question and then invite you onto the stage to answer it in front of about 20 strangers. And my question was, Kyle, if a zombie apocalypse happened in Scotland, where would you go? So I get up there, my heart's going like this, I'm sweating from every single area of my body, and I look at the crowd and I just go, the pub? And then I sit back down. And when I sat down, honestly, I felt really embarrassed, really humiliated, because I knew I could do better than that, but I didn't. And that brings me to my first lesson in this video. I learned that day that speaking is a mental game. If you can't control the anxiety in your mind and body, you will fail. You have to find ways to bring some calm into your universe before you begin to speak. Because if you let your mind go wild, if you let the doubt seep in, that is going to manifest itself when you get on the stage. So every time I've spoke in public since then, I've always been very intentional about what's going on up here. I use things like affirmations to control the dialogue that's going on in my mind. That allows me to remain more calm and have less in the pub moments. Another big failure I had was during one of my first ever workshops as a professional speaker. Because I was new to the game, I decided to do a joint workshop with a lady called Kay, who was big into meditation. And we thought, yeah, let's do one together. We're more likely to get more people along and it'll be more of a success. And that's what we did. And we got about 10 people along, which was okay. I did the first 30 minutes of the workshop on public speaking, and Kay did the last 30 on meditation. And with it being one of my first workshops, I was very excited, and I kind of went full motivational speaker on this audience. I started telling them how they should do this, how they should do that, how they should try and have this body language, use their voice in this way, and they will have an impact and a more fulfilling life. Kay didn't do any of that. All she did was have a very calm conversation with the audience, invited them to do meditation exercises, and the result was she got a far better response than me. The audience were fully listening, fully involved, fully believing in what she was saying. She put far less energy into it than me. She was far less dynamic and engaging, yet she connected far better than I did. And that day I began to learn that public speaking is not about your body language, your voice, your structure, your storytelling. That stuff's important, but what is most important is connection. How the audience can connect with you, how they can feel like you are one of them, that you understand them, that you get them. And that was something which Kay did far better than I did. And as a result, at the end of the workshop, everyone went towards Kay to talk to her, and everyone left me in the corner alone. Which brings me to the third major failure that I have had. And this one was in the world of stand-up comedy. My girlfriend put me on a stand-up comedy course because she didn't think I was funny. And the course involved 6 weeks of training where we would work on a 5-minute set, they call it, 5-minute speech, which is of course meant to be funny. And we did that. I got some coaching and so forth. And then at the end of the 6 weeks, I believe, we did what they call a showcase, where you get to deliver your 5-minute set to an audience. And we did this on a Friday and on a Saturday. Now on the Friday, my set went down brilliantly. I had the audience rolling from start to finish. If you don't believe me, you can watch the video. It's on my YouTube channel. But on the Saturday, things were slightly different. You see, I had the exact same 5 minutes, the exact same words, the exact same delivery, the exact same everything. But for whatever reason, the audience on the Saturday didn't laugh at all. I honestly would have got a better response in a graveyard. But it's interesting because nothing had changed from this Friday or Saturday except the audience. And that made me realize as a speaker, there's only so much I can do. I can make sure I'm prepared. I can make sure that I am calm. I can make sure that I'm connecting with the audience as much as I possibly can. But ultimately, I can't control the audience. I can't control if they laugh or not. I can't control if they take on board my information. I can't control if they take action on my words. All I can do is control what I can control. And I think the danger sometimes is we put our worth, we put our value in the hands of the audience. I.e., how they react will determine whether I'm a good speaker or not. And that's dangerous because it's essentially gambling. They might like your presentation, they might not like your presentation. It's simply something you can't control. So I believe the better approach, the better mindset is to not focus on the outcome. Don't focus on whether they laugh or not. Don't focus on whether they buy from you or not if it's a sales presentation. Instead, focus on what you can control. Focus on your preparation. Focus on your structure, your storytelling, your skills, your mindset. Focus on all of those things. And what often happens, from my experience, is that the results take care of themselves. You get a better response from the audience. You get them taking action on your words. You get them buying your product or service because you focused on the controllables instead of what you can't control. So that was a little flyby of some of my top public speaking failures. Hope you enjoyed it more than me. And if you would like some more help with your public speaking, if you want to learn how to become a better storyteller, how to structure your presentations effectively, how to inspire people to change, to take action on your words, something you might want to consider is one-to-one coaching. This is where you and I would sit down on a Zoom call and we'd work on specific presentations you've got coming up. I can give you feedback on your delivery, your content, and your slides if you have them. Best way to get more information on this is to email me. Kyle@confidencebydesign.co.uk is my address. If you send me an email today, I will get back to you within 24 hours with more information. I wish you the very best in your next presentation.